In a school, there was a kid named Johnny, but Johnny was an idiot. He was such an idiot that his teacher told his mom,
"Your son is an idiot. He just can't learn."
But his mom didn't lose hope. She moved and sent him to another school. 25 years later, that teacher got very sick with heart problems. Every doctor said she was going to die because the surgery was too tough, except one doctor who tried something new and it worked. After the surgery, the teacher tried to open her eyes, but she couldn't. She cried. Her face turned red, then blue. She lifted her hand, and then she passed away. It was all because Johnny, who was cleaning the room that day, unplugged her life support to charge his iPhone. So no, Johnny didn't become a doctor. Johnny was still an idiot. If you like it, subscribe. The teacher asked the kids to stand and tell the class what their father does for a living. Spell the occupation and let everyone know what your dad would do if he was here in the classroom, she instructed. First came Emily. She stands up and says,
"My father is a baker, B-A-K-R, and if he were here today, he would bring everyone a cookie."
"Very good," says the teacher. "Now who's next?" Mickey raises his hand and stands up with a long, thick southern drawl. He proudly says,
"My pa is an electrician. E-L-I-K. No, that's not it. U-M-E-L-E-K.
The teacher tells Mickey to have a seat and study his spelling. Next, little Johnny stood right up to the front of the class, and with a smirk, he says,
"My dad is a bookie, B-O-O-K-I-E, and if he was here today, he would give us 10 to 1 odds that Mickey ain't never going to spell electrician."
Johnny was really into his best-loved movie, totally caught up in all the exciting turns of the story. All of a sudden, a knock sounded through his house. He looked at the door, but decided to ignore it, thinking it might just stop. The knocking kept going on and on. Johnny, still wrapped up in the movie, kept ignoring the knocks until, from out of nowhere, there was a really loud thud. Annoyed, Johnny finally decided to check it out. He opened the door, half expecting to see a neighbor. There was a snail. He picks up the snail and throws it as far as he can. 3 years later, there's a knock on the door. He opens it and sees the same snail. The snail says,
"What the hell was that all about?" Little Johnny is watching his mom rubbing cold cream on her face, and he asks her,
"Why are you rubbing that stuff on your face, mother?"
His mother replies,
"To make myself beautiful, Johnny."
A few minutes later, she starts rubbing the cream off with a tissue. Johnny says to her,
"What is the matter? Are you giving up?"